Stop pretending for a second. Look at your iPhone. Does it actually feel faster than it did 3 years ago? Or does it feel like every time you hit update, something breaks? Maybe your keyboard freezes for a split second when you're typing a text. Maybe your battery drains 10% just sitting in your pocket. Maybe the animations stutter just enough to annoy you. We need to stop lying to ourselves and admit that the last few iOS updates haven't been good. In fact, they've been a mess of bugs, battery drain, and features that nobody asked for. But something massive is happening inside Apple right now that is going to change everything. We're just a few months away from WWDC 2026, and the leaks for iOS 27 are painting a picture that is honestly shocking. This isn't just another update where they change the font on the lock screen or give us a new emoji. This is Apple pressing the hard reset button. We have received new information that suggests Apple is actually terrified of losing the current tech race, and iOS 27 is their desperate answer to fix it. But to pull this off, they are about to make a controversial move that is going to leave millions of users behind. We have the date, we have the features, and we have the list of phones that are getting killed. If you own an older iPhone, you need to listen to this because your device might be on the chopping block. Let's get right into the biggest part of this leak, something insiders are calling Project Liquid Glass. Now, I know that sounds like a marketing buzzword, but this is actually the most critical part of the update, even if it sounds boring at first. For years, the dirty secret of the iPhone has been the update tax. You buy a $1,000 phone, it runs perfectly, and then 2 years later, after a few upgrades, it feels sluggish. Users have complained for years that their phones feel slower after updates, the battery dies faster, and basic things like the keyboard start glitching. According to a massive report from Bloomberg, Apple has shifted its entire engineering team's focus for iOS 27 to solve this specific problem. The goal isn't new flashy widgets. The goal is pure, unadulterated stability. They're trying to make the software feel as smooth as liquid glass, hence the code name. You have to understand why this is happening now. Apple is a company that usually prides itself on perfection. It just works was their slogan for years. But lately, it just crashes. Apple executives are reportedly embarrassed by the quality of recent software releases. The leaks suggest that for iOS 27, the software engineering chief has put a freeze on new gimmick features. Instead, engineers are being tasked with rewriting the core code that manages memory and battery life. Imagine an update that doesn't add a single new app, but makes your battery last 20% longer and makes your 3-year-old iPhone run as fast as the day you bought it. That is the promise of Project Liquid Glass. It is an acknowledgement that the foundation of the iPhone has become cracked and unstable, and they're finally stopping the construction of new floors to fix the basement. But why now? Why the sudden panic to fix stability? The answer is simple and terrifying for Apple: artificial intelligence. Apple is currently being chased by Samsung and Google in the AI space, and they're losing. Samsung's latest phones have AI deeply integrated into the system, not just as a chatbot, but as a tool that helps you use the phone. Google's Pixel is doing things with voice and photos that Siri can't even dream of. Apple knows that if iOS 27 is buggy and slow, nobody is going to trust their new AI features. This update has to be perfect. The pressure inside Apple Park is reportedly at an all-time high. This isn't just about making the phone work. It's about survival in a new era of technology. If the operating system is a mess, the AI running on top of it will be a mess. They are clearing the deck. They are scrubbing the code. They are preparing the iPhone to handle the heavy lifting of next-generation intelligence. And they know they cannot build that future on a shaky foundation. However, there is a dark side to this progress. To achieve this level of liquid glass stability and to run these advanced AI models, Apple has to trim the fat. This brings us to the most controversial part of the leak: the kill list. Whenever Apple does a major rewrite of their code to focus on performance and new architecture, older devices suffer. They simply don't have the processor power or the RAM to keep up with the new demands. While we all love keeping our phones for 5 or 6 years, iOS 27 is going to draw a line in the sand. The leaks indicate that to pull this off, Apple is about to make a move that will leave millions of users behind. We're looking at the end of the road for the iPhone 11 series. If these reports are accurate, the iPhone 11, iPhone 11 Pro, and iPhone 11 Pro Max will not support iOS 27. These phones have served us well, but their processors just don't have the neural engine capabilities required for the deep AI integration and the high-performance stability Apple is targeting. By cutting off these older devices, Apple engineers don't have to waste time optimizing the new code for old hardware. They can focus entirely on modern chips. It is a ruthless move, but is necessary for progress. If you're still holding onto an iPhone 11, this might be the year you are forced to upgrade if you want the latest software security and features. It's a harsh reality, but in the world of tech, if you aren't moving forward, you are dying. So when is this all going down? When we find out the truth. Apple is a creature of habit, and their schedule is almost religious. We are currently in early 2026. If we look at the calendar and analyze previous years, we can pinpoint the exact date. WWDC, Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference, will almost certainly kick off on Monday, June 8th. Mark your calendars. That is the date. That is when Tim Cook takes the stage at Apple Park. And that is when Developer Beta 1 drops. We are approximately 4.5 months away from seeing if Apple can actually pull this off. That keynote will be the moment of truth. We will see if they talk about liquid glass, if they show off the new stability, and most importantly, if they confirm the list of supported devices. In my honest opinion, this is the most critical update in iPhone history. I know we say that every year, but look at the stakes. The competition is fierce. People are keeping their phones longer because they are bored with new hardware. If the software sucks, people will leave the ecosystem. Personally, I am most excited about the liquid glass stability. I would trade 100 new emoji features. I would trade a new control center. I would trade all the bells and whistles for a phone that never lags, never stutters, and has 20% better battery life. If they cut the iPhone 11 to achieve that, I think it is a fair trade. We need our phones to be reliable tools, not just toys that glitch out when we need them most. This update feels like Apple is finally growing up and focusing on what actually matters, the user experience. We are standing on the edge of a new era for the iPhone. The bugs of the past few years have been frustrating, but iOS 27 looks like the apology letter we have been waiting for. It's a reset. It's a commitment to quality over quantity. But it comes at a cost. The question is, are you ready for it? Is your hardware ready for it? Or are you going to be left behind on iOS 26? I want to know what you think. Is stability enough to make you happy? Or do you demand new features? And are you currently using an iPhone 11 that might get cut? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the first hands-on review when the beta drops. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.